have if we have two variables, let me say number num1 is equal to 12, and num2 is equal to 21. So I want to give an if statement. I say if num1 is greater than num2, if num1 is greater than num2, then this I must use my colon. You know, in Java you use your curly brackets or curly braces, but here you use your colon. So I'll key it in. It will automatically indent, but if it does not indent, I have to do the indentation. Python does not play with indentation. It works with indentation a lot. So I'll say print, I'll put it hello num1 is bigger than num2. Num1 is bigger than num2. Num1 is bigger than num2. There can be an S, but let's see this. And what will happen here, it will not print anything because num1 is not bigger than num2. Am I right? Good. It will not print anything, okay? Because num1 is not bigger than num2. So when I do this, I keep this, it doesn't send an input. But if I should repeat it and turn it the other way around, you see that it will give us a value. It will give us whatever thing we ask it to do. Hello, num2 is bigger than num1. Num2 is bigger than num1. So if you print this, hello num2 is bigger than num1. Okay, something very funny is if I don't want that num2 to be showing, I want the value and not the variable name to be showing, then I have to do what they call string formatting. So either I do this and I put dot formats, num1, num2, num1, and in this place I have to specify here empty brace, curly braces. Also here I'll specify it as empty curly braces. So when I run this, that, I'm expecting to have okay, I have to close it here. So when I run this, I have the values and not the names. Can we proceed? Okay, so now it's on string formatting. If I want to get the full if statement, I have to leave this environment of Python and go more into the place where I can write scripts. But before I go into that place where I can write script, let's see something. Where's the name equals Hamplus Hub. Then I want to print it as a for character in name. I want to print the characters, right? I'll say print character. You see, it prints the characters for me. prints the characters for me. It prints the character for me. That is just using a simple form. You are welcome for you that just joined. You're welcome. Just join us as we proceed. So this is a simple for loop in Python. We want to loop through the characters in the name here. And you're welcome. So anything is an iterable. Anything an iterable, what you can go through, something that is a sequence, you can loop through it. And in Python we have iterables like a string is any string is an iterable, any list is an iterable, any set is an iterable, any tuple is an iterable. So I can have a list like scores. Then I have these are scores of students. I have 20, 21, 19, 15, 22. Okay, I have this and I want to go through the list and say student 1 scored this, student 2 scored this. I can say for I, that I is a variable. It can be anything, it can be I, it can be B, it can be Q, it can be C. Whatever thing I intend to use it, I use as the variable. So for I in scores, I must put my indentation, that is my column, to give me the indentation. I'll say print students. How will I get my 1, 2, 3? So I can just say print. Let me say print I. Let me give this print I. Then it will give me my scores. But what I really want is students in this scored this, students in this scored this, students in this scored this. So I have to use my loop in another way. Remember what I said, length gives us length of scores. It gives us what? The number of values inside the score. Okay, so there's another keyword in function in Python which is called range. When I mean range, if I say range of 5, it gives me from 0 to 4, because range gives you a list or a sequence of number excluding the terminal number. So if I say range of 5, it gives me 0 to 4. So for me to see this, if I just do this, I won't be able to see it. But for me to see it, I have to put it in the list, and I say range of 5. So you see it gives me 0 to 4. It gives me 0 to 4. And there's another way I can do this by specifying the start position and the end position. If I wanted to start from 2 and I wanted to end before 5, I'll simply do this range start, comma, where I want it to end. Excuse me. Sorry for that. Where I want it to end. So when I run this, it gives me 2, 3, and 4. There's one other thing I will show you in range before we start using it well. If I want it to have an increment, if I want it to have an increment, like range start from 2, stop at 20, before 20, give us a step of 2. So this will give us the odd numbers between 1 and 20, between 2 and the even numbers between 2 and 20. So when I do this, you see it very simple. So these are the 3 ways we can use our range. So if I want to tweak this for loop to tell me that students in index position 1 scored this, student in index position 2 scored this. So all I have to do is, instead of using this is my score, let me just put it again. Instead of using this for this, I have to change it to for a range of length score. Remember, length of score is 5. So range of 5 will give us 0 to 4. So when I do this, I'll say print students in this, student in index this scored this. So what I want to do, I'm using formatting. So what will be in that particular place? The first place, I want the index position, which is I. Then the second place, I want the score, which is score of I. So when I tap this again, you see it will be listed out. So we have students in index 0 scored 20, students in index 1 scored 2, and 21. Students just like that, according to how the index, the list is. Okay, so do you have any questions so far, or should we proceed? Any questions so far, or should we proceed? Okay, I believe we will proceed. I believe there's no questions so far. So we can proceed. We've seen the for loop, and some situations we can use the for loop. Another loop in Python that can be used is the while loop. The while loop. So we can perform a simple addition, or we can perform a simple arithmetic operation using a while loop. Let's assume, for instance, I want to print the numbers between 1 and 20. Between 1 and 20. So I want to make use of the while loop. So I'll say number, let me say number equals to 20. Number equal to 1. Number equal to 1. So I'll start with y number is less than or equal to 20. Y number is less than or equal to 20. What should happen is you print number. You print number. I am not going to end here, but I'm going to increase the number. So I'll say number is equal to number plus 1. So when I do this, it will print out all the numbers starting from 1 and stop at 20. So you see that is the while loop. It's very easy to use. But in using the while loop, you have to be very careful not to enter infinite loop, because if you enter an infinite loop, your system will run continuously, except you interrupt it by pressing Ctrl C or Command C if you are using Mac. And the possible way for you to enter an infinite loop is when you forget to increment your counter, or you forget to decrease your counter. That's one way. The second way is when you have a wrong logic here. When you have a wrong logic, you can enter infinite loop. Just assume I for instance, I say y number is greater than or equal to 20. So number is not greater than or equal to 20. Number is equal to 1. So I will have an infinite loop there. I also, when I forget to increase my number, I will have an infinite loop. Okay. We have few minutes to terminate today's class. We've looked at, so far we've looked at the different data types. We've taken a brief look at the if statements. We took a look at the for loop, and we also took a look at the while loop. Also took a look at the while loop. So we'll take a scenario. I don't know if any of you, the attendees, if you have a question that you want us to implement using Python. Any question from what we've seen today? You have a question, you want to do a little thing, but you want us to use Python. Any question you want us to solve using Python that we have to make use of for loop, if or while, or that have to make use of data, the data type we've seen so far. Okay, let's assume you want to solve a question that entails you as the programmer that you should list out all the odd numbers between 1 and 50. You also list out all the even numbers between 1 and 50. Then you store them in separate lists. After storing them in separate lists, you add those numbers together. I don't know if you understand me. I don't know if you understand me. Hello? Okay. What I'm actually saying is you are given a task as a programmer to list out the numbers, the odd numbers between 1 and 50. You list it and keep it in a list. Then you list out the even numbers between 1 and 50. You keep it in a list. Then you sum those two numbers together. You sum the two lists together. Let's say generate. I'll type this in. Okay, question. I guess you can see my screen. Generates odd numbers and even numbers between 1 and 50. Save them in a list.
Can you send me your notes?
Then add the list items together.
Snap and send me WhatsApp. Please, I'm waiting for
You get
now.
this?
Thank you.
So this is our question. This is our question for today. We generate the numbers between 1 to 50. You add them, you save them in a list, then you add them. So let's get started. I will come to file, I'll go to new file, then I'll start typing. Okay, I'll give this as data DWP, AWP, the one. Okay, so the first thing I have to start two lists. I'll call one even and I'll make it an empty list. I'll call one odd, I'll make it also an empty list. Then I have to generate the numbers. First and foremost, I can do a simple thing. I don't want to generate it twice using two for loops. I want to use one for loop, then I will decide if the number is even or if the number is odd. So I can say for I or for number in range, it starts from odd number starts from 1, but even number starts from 2. So I want to start my range from 1 and I will end at 50 because it says between 1 and 50. Between 1 and 50. So this, I'll do this, then I'll make an if statement. Which is simple. If number is divisible by 2, that is when you divide the number by 2, it has no remainder. If it's divisible by 2, that you know that number is an an even number, right? So we can say what's even, which is that empty list we created. To add to an empty list, we use the function append, the method append. So we are appending the number to it. S, so you see this, I have to put it on same level. S, I'll pick my odd list and I'll append the number to it. So when you check for 1 and 1 is not divisible by 2, it appends 1 to odd. Then it goes next to check for 2. 2 is divisible by 2, it appends 2 to even. Okay, so let's just see this. I have to come out from the if indentation and I'll just make a simple thing. Print, let me say print odd, print what? Odd, print odd. You print odd for me, the odd list. It will also print what? It will also print the even. I want it to also print the even. So let me make a simple statement. The odd numbers are, so let me give it this, are odd. The odd numbers are odd and I want also the even numbers are these. So let's see, I'll run it and you ask me to save the file. So I have to save the file, DAWP the one. So let's see what it will give us. Okay, you see it keeps on printing. It keeps on printing, and actually I don't want it to be printing this way. I don't want it to be printing after every loop is done. So I have to do something to it. I have to adjust this indentation and make it to be on the same level with this form. So when it is on the same level with the form, it will just give me what I want. So you can see I have a little error in my logic. I'm putting the odd in the even in the odd and the odd in the even. It comes from this my logic here. So I have to do this equals to 0. So you see it now. So it has just given me my odd numbers and my even numbers between 1 and 50. We just, how many lines of code? We just less than 12 lines of code. Less than 12 lines of code. So I have my list now. The second task I was asked to do is to sum these lists together. Is to sum them. That is to take this, add it to this, take this, add it to this. So let's see. I think both we have the same length. Both we have the same length. Between 1 and 50, they have same length of odd and even numbers. So I can simply do something like this. I can simply do something for I in range. I can use any of the list able, any of the list. So I can see what first and foremost I would like to put sum as sum list as an empty variable. So I'll say was sum list equal to what? Equal to even dash I plus odd dash I. Then I'll come out from that for loop. I'll print the sum of the even numbers and even and odd numbers between 1 and 50 is some list. Okay, so when I run this, wow, gives me 0. Let me see. Oh, some list. I missed my S here. I don't know if you see it. I missed my S here. So, and also I have to increase this using sum list equals to sum list sum underscore list plus. So when I do this, see it, so that is the sum. Any question? We can cross check it if we are correct with this. I can do sum is inbuilt, sum of this plus sum of this. So I'm having a slight difference. So what is the difference now? The difference is maybe they are not of same length. Let me cross check. And here will give me 24. 24. So they are not of same length. That's why it gives me a difference. Okay. So any question before we call it a day for today? Remember, tomorrow we'll be introducing NumPy and we'll be working with a new environment. If you have a question, you can let us know. If you have a question, you can let us know. Tomorrow we'll be working with what we call Jupyter Notebook. Okay, the question actually is you were contacted to generate the numbers, even and odd numbers between 1 and 50. Okay, the first one, the earlier ones, I just did a brief introduction to Python, bringing out the data types, using some functions, some methods you can see on the screen, also introducing the for loop, the while loop, and the if statements. Yeah. So I just remembered something. We have C. Let's assume that C is equal to 10, 12, 43, 88. And let's say C, this is our C, and we have a goal to sort this C. To sort C, we can sort our C in two ways. We can sort our C in two ways, either using the method sorted. If I do this sorted, then I just do this to sort this for me from lowest to highest. But if I want to sort the other way, from highest to lowest, I can do sorted C reverse when I do this, reverse equals to true, sorted C reverse equal to true. CRUE. So it will sort this for me from ascending to descending. But however, we should note that this sorted is not actually permanent, because we can get back our C unsorted. So if we want to do it in a permanent way, we have to make use of the sort method in the data type. So our C, the data type of our C is list. So we can say C dot sorted, C dot sort, C dot sort. Then in it, we'll specify if we want to reverse or we don't want to reverse. So if I just do C dot sort and I do my C back, you see it has sorted it. But if I do C dot sort and I specify reverse, reverse equals to true, and I call my C again, it gives me from the lowest, from the highest to the lowest. Okay, so I guess we got that. So tomorrow we'll be looking at introduction to NumPy. Then we'll make use of NumPy. We'll use NumPy. We'll make use of NumPy. We'll say using NumPy for some basic maths. Then put maths. Then also we'll be making use of this new environment. The environment we make use tomorrow is what we call Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. Or if you are not able to install Jupyter Notebook, to install it you can install Anaconda. If you are not able to install Jupyter Notebook, you can use Google Colab. That is an online environment, a cloud environment. So this is what we'll do tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow we'll start in 11 a.m. also. It will last from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Is there any question before we call it a day? Okay, thank you all for joining, and please do well by informing others of your friends. Share the link to them, inform them about this free conference and workshop. They can join us wherever they are and be of benefit. I can also learn from you, so any expertise you have concerning data analysis and you can make it known to us, then we'll all grow together. Thank you, Mr. Ugochukwu. Thank you, Apene. Thank you, Faith, and have a nice day. You can contact me on WhatsApp for any question. Welcome. So do have a nice day. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Bye.